Getting ready for starting lineups. The Renegades tonight, they do have a tendency to start out a bit slow, but really turn on the Jets down the stretch and can pull away in the second half. But Hancock has played common opponents with more success this season, beating Barstow 2 weeks ago, 81-65, a team the Renegades lost to in overtime back on November 4th, and losing by 1 to a very good COS team that handily defeated the Renegades 9 days ago by 30. BC does have home court advantage tonight, a perfect 5-0 record here at the Renegade Athletic Complex. And Julian, boy, I'll tell you what, we think we've got our hands full tonight with Hancock. That's a very, very skilled, very large squad standing on the court over there.
Yes, they're skilled, they're long, but the positive thing for the Renegades that we have on our side tonight is that this is a different Renegade team compared to the beginning of the season.
Absolutely. So far today, starting lineups for both squads. For Allan Hancock for the Bulldogs, number 2, Daisio Gonzalez. Number 3, Mansour Sana. Number 4, Sir Roberts. Number 15, Noah Morris. And, of course, number 13, the leading scorer on this squad, number 23, Trenton Lavender. So Lavender really going to give the Renegades all they can handle tonight. For BC, Gustavo Chavez really going to be important on the outside. Did not get going the other day in the three-point line until later on in the second half. Markel Brooks, look for him to get started early. He's really going to be necessary. And, of course, Zakir Henderson, I don't think we have to say anything about him. He averaged over 30 points in 3 games and just really kind of tearing up and got 22 on Tuesday. James Miller. And James Miller hasn't really been on a scoring tear. First couple of games you saw he was really kind of come to the table, but not really done much in the last game. We'll look for him to get going. And God Wilfamuso didn't score anything except for, I think, got 2 points in the game last week. He really is going to have to do something on the offensive board tonight to keep this Bulldog Hancock team kind of at bay. So we'll find out and see exactly where it's going to start. The Renegades did not start with a full court press the other day, and I talked and pressed, the coach about that, and I asked, kind of what was the goal of not going, full court press early on. He said, well, we kind of wanted to get a feel for what kind of an offense they were going to run. Look, but the same thing happened today. The Renegades will figure out exactly how Allan Hancock is going to be choosing to play in the full court, and the Renegades will go from there. And a nice lay-in there in the face of Zakir Henderson by number 4, Sir Roberts. Renegades will need to get the offense started quickly here today. Miller out on the perimeter, gives it over to Henderson. Henderson solo guarded, driving to his right. Fall away, can't get that one to go. Henderson has been shooting around 50% so far on the season. So if he gets enough touches, he'll score. And the downtown way off the mark. Did not get the rim. And as I stated, Zakir Henderson hadn't really gotten started, Julian, in the first couple of games that we watched him, and then just managed to take off in the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, expect for him to do the same thing tonight. Once he gets on a roll, Hancock's going to have a very difficult time with him.
Lavender guarding Henderson. Miller working around the top of the key, trying to drive and penetrate, dishes back out. Once again, another issue for the Renegades. That shot clock's been kind of bleeding down on both of their possessions so far, so they're going to have to do a little something to make sure that they're not getting too low in that shot clock and having to force the shot. And now that full court press, and not really a full court press, just kind of a little bit of a, hey, we're going to slow you down a little bit so you don't have so many seconds to just walk on up the court and score at will. Oh, and a turnover. Henderson goes down. Slow to get back up, but does. And that left leg is wrapped today, and we hadn't talked to anybody about any potential injury that he may be suffering right now.
Right.
Zakir Henderson did have a knee injury when he was playing overseas in his high school years. And it took a while to come back to that. Once again, 5 on the shot clock for the Renegades. Miller driving down the lane, throws it up. Doesn't get a touch, and the shot clock is going to expire. So 3 not so great trips down the the court for the Renegades so far.
Right, and they're not going to be able to play against this team that way. They're going to have to find a way to score and score quick.
Absolutely. Famuso out on Santa. Sane drives, and that one just a little bit off. He thought he had contact. Famuso comes away with it and tries to drive all the way down. It bounces off of the back leg of one of the defenders. He picks it up and puts it in. And Henderson playing tight defense there. And that one picked off. And we'll see, it's going to be a blocking foul called against Godwill Famuso, as Noah Morris was driving to the lane. And now Morris will go to the line and shoot two.
Shooting two, Noah Morris.
So BC so far, both teams actually not having a lot of luck putting that ball in the basket. And we got 3 minutes off the clock, 17 left to go here in this first half. Bulldogs leading 4-2. And right now that score doesn't really look like it's that close of a game, but so far, Allan Hancock's defense has been in charge, causing the Renegades a lot of trouble and trying to get shots off quickly. And that one, Miller just off the mark, trying to do it himself. And one thing that's really impressive with this Hancock squad is their length. And another foul, and that one's going to get called on on Miller.
Renegade foul number 13, James Miller, first personal foul.
Miller's first personal foul now.
Shooting two, number 23.
Renegades did get into a little bit of foul trouble, not so much, but, you know, both teams were kind of in the bonus for both halves. And Greg McCall and I did discuss that in our little halftime combo. And that conversation was basically they had to control the amount of fouls that they were committing on that defensive end. Full court press now by Hancock. Allan Hancock doing a good job disrupting for the Renegades. Famuso reaches out and grabs that one down on the baseline, dishes it back out, and throws the ball away as he was trying to get it over to Miller.
You know, and there's your turnover, and that wasn't because of the defense that they got back. That was because of the press. They hadn't gotten set yet.
Absolutely, and that's going to be one of the things I think that the Renegades are really going to have to evaluate. And Greg McCall is going to have to look at, you know, how do we dissipate the press of this fantastic Hancock defense. Dacio Gonzalez was all alone down there, managed to find his way just empty, but didn't do much with the ball. And nice inside rebound by Noah Morris puts that one back, and it's 7-2 with 15:43 to go. And Greg McCall wants to talk it over. We're going to talk it over when we come back right after this. Coming back out of the timeout, the Renegades trailing 7-2 on the Allan Hancock Bulldogs. Allan Hancock with a 4-4 record, but as I said earlier in the pregame, 4-4 doesn't nearly define what kind of a team this is. And the Renegades are going to be working really hard all night long in the common opponent competition. Actually, Allan Hancock fared way better than the Renegades did. But right there, just a nice give, and then Markel Brooks wasn't quite sure what he should do with it, so he just puts it in the basket, and he should have done that without hesitation. Surprising that he still was able to get the score. Nobody dropped down to cover. By the way, number 35, Takoro Sidibe, he's 6'11", Julian. And he hasn't scored much, but I think they have him in there really for a lot of defense.
Yeah, when you get somebody 6'11", that presence makes a big difference.
Brooks trying to give it back to Henderson. And that might have been an ill-advised pass. He probably should have gone through all the way and attempted to score. Famuso guarding on Adam Silman. And Henderson's going to step out of bounds trying to save it. 14:39 left to go. Elijah Wade checking into the game along with Tyron Tyler. And Tyler kind of went crazy at the end of the second half in that last game, draining 2 3-pointers in a row, expanding that Renegade lead. They ended up getting over 100, scored 108 points in the last game. And both officials kind of looking at each other.
Hadn't seen that in a while.
And the official down on the baseline looked over at the sideline official. Anderson trying to play tough D. Famuso comes away with it, and then he's going to get fouled. And that looks like it's going to go against Adam Silman. Well, they called it on number 20, actually, D.D. Williams. So Williams will get called with his first personal foul. And the first team foul so far for Allan Hancock. And once again, the Renegades getting pressed. Markel Brooks from outside. You know, one thing that we've seen, of course, from the Renegades, they do not get hot from the three-point line until the second half. And I think at some point you still have to try and shoot, but not doing a great job shooting, somewhere around 25% from beyond the arc. And that foul's got to get called on Markel Brooks, it looks like. That's the third team foul on the Renegades. 6 minutes and 4 seconds gone in this first half. Adam Silman now at the line shooting 2. Silman drains them both, and it's 9-4, 13:55 to go. And a foul's going to get called away from the ball, and that's going to go against Takoro Sidibe, and that's going to be his first personal foul. Sidibe has not had a lot of playing time so far this season, only 34 minutes in 8 games so far, so they're really going to use him today, and I don't know if maybe there was an injury as the reason as to why he didn't get a whole lot of playing time. And now Zach Garnett, number 25, coming into the game for the Renegades. Renegades working it around. Garnett back out to Wade. And the pass is going to get disrupted and knocked out of bounds by D.D. Williams. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. And once again, as we've stated, the Renegades, that shot clock may be an issue for them all night long. And I'll tell you what, the defense of this Allan Hancock squad is pretty good. And we're seeing that already. Tyler trying to get hot from the arc. Like I said, he drained 3 of them the other day. So that was kind of, and he's going to try it again. And he gets that one to go, Tyron Tyler. And the Renegades pulled it within 2 now. And maybe Tyler's going to be the guy today. Like I said, he ended the game the other day pretty well. Oh, and a nice finger roll down low by number 1, Arlen Kinjui. And a travel's going to get called on Elijah Wade. Too late putting the ball down on the deck. And that gets called quite a bit.
Yeah, and you know, Tom, there's no doubt about it. Sidibe is definitely making a difference on defense down at that low post.
Yeah, well, Wade needs to be careful. He just pushed off of him really hard. And two people trying to box out, and the whole squad for the Renegades was down there on the rebound. And it's going to take a whole bunch of them to deal with him today. Oh, and Henderson over the top of Sidibe and tips that one in. Oh, and that was a little bit of a fumble over there on the inbound. Almost caught Mekhi Grant out of bounds. And Tyler working on Sidibe as much as he can. Henderson comes away with another rebound. Once again, a week ago he had a double-double and was one rebound shy of a double-double just on Tuesday. And honestly, he could have had that. And Wade gets his pocket picked. And Arlen Kinjoey, and a delay of game called against Kinjoey.
Renegade substitution, number 13, James Miller.
And now Miller coming back in the game for the Renegades, and practically a line change.
Wow.
You know, this is not a hockey game, but wow, everybody came in for Allan Hancock. And boy, that's something when you got a bench where you can replace the entire squad. And a quick foul, and that's going to get called against Eli Jones. And that'll be the third team foul called on Allan Hancock. 13-9, 11:52 left to go in this first half. Oh boy.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, James Miller would like to get that one back. He took a step backwards that he didn't even have to take.
But, you know, there was some contact.
There was some contact, absolutely. But
I thought that, in my eyesight, that pushed him over the line, and
yeah,
that's why they didn't blow that whistle right away. But they called that. So
11:44 in this first half. Renegades trailing 13-9. And the foul over on the far side. And that's going to get called on Godwilf Amusa, and that's going to be his second personal foul. And another foul is going to get called, and that's going to go on Tyron Tyler. So the Renegades right now, not even halfway through the half, and they've already got 5 team fouls. And that's Tyron Tyler's first. Bulldogs inbound into the backcourt. BC trying to trap. Shot clock down to 7. And BC now giving Hancock a little bit of their own business. And this would be horrible if they end up scoring. And it finally hit the rim, but it was late, but it still counted. And the offensive boards for the Bulldogs are just relentless. BC comes away with nothing. And double dribble's going to get called on BC. And right now, the luck of the Irish is just not smiling on Bakersfield College.
Not at all.
Hancock just doing everything that the Bakersfield College Renegades have been doing to other teams on this court.
Yes.
A nice pass underneath. And what should have been kind of just an easy lay-in ends up going, and the ball is lost once again by Miller. One thing is we have not seen Hancock, and the foul, that looks like it's going to get called on Mansour Sané.
Hancock foul number 3. Mansour Sané, first personal foul.
Sané's first personal, and now 4 team fouls, so Hancock matching foul for foul with the Renegades. And Elijah Wade checking in now. He'll replace Zach Garnett.
Number 0, Elijah Wade.
Bulldogs still putting on the full court press. Trying to get the Renegades, and another turnover for BC. And now the Renegades And I had to take a double look at that stat. They've got 11 turnovers in this half already, compared to Allan Hancock has 0. Miller misses the layup and out-rebounded by Noah Morris. Noah Morris, a 6'9" sophomore. BC trailing 15-9 with just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. And a travel gets called on Mansour Sané. And BC is going to have to tighten it up just a little bit. They're trailing by 6, the biggest lead so far of the night for the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs press is really giving BC a little bit of trouble right now. And I don't know what the call is on that. He must have stepped out of bounds. I didn't see him call any kind of a travel, but it could have been. And a timeout is going to get called. And, hey, you know what, Julian? Hats off to the women's basketball program winning today down in Southern California. And I'm trying to remember who they played, and I'll have to come up with that in a minute. But I was watching the score. They didn't have a live stream, so I was watching the scores that was going on. And now Bakersfield College women's program 8-1 for the first time.
First time.
In I don't know how many years. It may be the history of the program.
Yes.
The last time that they had won more than 8 games was 2021 when they went 19-7. Other than that, it was an 8-win season, an 8-win season, a 7-win season, an 8-win season. So Grant Bingham already matched how many games they won last year in just the first 9 games.
Yes, and I tell you what, it's been so refreshing for the campus to have this electricity here. That women's team, if you haven't seen that team in person, you got to come down and watch them. They are
absolutely.
Doing a great
and
job.
They do have a game coming up versus Taft on the 19th of December. Game time is 1 o'clock. That game will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. 9:43 to go in the first half. Bulldogs in blue, Renegades in white. The Renegades trailing 15-9. BC with 5 team fouls. And Markel Brooks comes up with that one, and that's going to be the second turnover of the game. Oh, and a pick right there by T.J. Hollinger, and Hollinger gets that one to go. Famuso went up and tried to get it off the glass and was unable to do so, and now it's 17-9. And again, this stifling defense of Allan Hancock. BC has not seen a defense like this yet. And I haven't really checked how that game with COS went or seen any video of it. I'm guessing it was kind of something of the same. COS, a very good squad this year. And right there, Tyron Tyler has his second three-pointer of the game with 6 points now. Zykeer Henderson, only 2 points so far in the game, and he is out right now. And now, for the first time coming into the game, is number 22, Damari Davis. You know, Henderson with that knee wrapped, we don't know if he's, maybe a little bit hobbled tonight or what's going on. I'll have to get a little bit of an idea what's going on when I talk to McCall at the half.
Right, you hate to see a player like that hobbled. You really hate it.
Davis for 3. Damari Davis drains the three-pointer. And that was a long 3, and the Renegades pull back to within 3. Underneath to Brooks. And a nice pickup by Elijah Wade to put that one in. Good job by BC on the offensive boards. Something that we've seen a lot of the Allan Hancock Bulldogs tonight. And a foul is going to get called down along the baseline on Damari Davis. That'll be his first. And 6 team fouls now for the Renegades, and 1 more. And BC's going to be in the bonus. And Greg McCall's having a conversation with the official over here on the near side. And he's like, you called the foul on the wrong guy.
Right. And I think the referees, they see the aggressiveness of both of these teams. They're trying to exercise some control and manage this game.
Absolutely. BC right now, Henderson back in the game for Bakersfield College. And a timeout is going to get called. They were running out of time to get the inbound. and instead they'd rather take the timeout. BC trailing 17-16. We'll be back with more of the first half right after this. Coming out of the timeout, of course, Zakir Henderson back in the game. Zakir only 2 points so far in the game so far. Like I said, in the previous 3 games, 3 of 4, he was averaging 30 points, scored 22 in the game on Tuesday night, and only has 2 points so far. So looking for him to get hot at some point. And he's playing on number 15, Noah Morris. Morris at 6'9", and Henderson giving away about 4.5 inches. And the foul's going to get called on Zakir Henderson, his first foul. And now Allan Hancock in the bonus for the first time tonight. And a lot faster than the Renegades would have liked, Julian.
Right, I think that the Renegades are playing a good strategy right now. They just need to stay close. Allan Hancock is a really good team. They just need to stay close.
BC actually pretty lucky right now to be within 2 points. And so far, they've made 2 3-pointers, and I don't even know if that's a correct number on that. I think BC's made more than that, or I thought they had. I think some of our stats might be a little bit off on that because Tyron Tyler drained 2 of them, I believe.
Right.
And then
I do believe
number
they did
22, Damari Davis. I think one. You're right. One must have gotten counted as a 2-pointer.
Yes, it did.
Well, that would be the difference right there. Oh, and a nice finger roll and in. Makai Grant. And Grant was working on Henderson. Henderson trying to work down low. And that's a little complicated. And the pocket gets picked. Gives it up to Henderson. Henderson lets Noah Morris goes flying by. And a smart move by Zakir Henderson. And boy, I'll tell you what, I bet Elijah Wade wishes that he didn't get fouled on that one because he was taken off to score. And that might have been a really good foul by Makai Grant, keeping him from proceeding.
Bulldog substitution, number 12, Adam Simon.
Adam Silman in the game now for the Bulldogs. Renegades out on the perimeter. Plenty of time left on the shot clock here. Henderson working down low on Morris. And Henderson goes strong over the top of Morris. I think he even made contact and still scored the bucket.
He is extremely difficult to deal with down low.
You know, Zakir Henderson is only 6'5", and I think 6'5" might be giving him a little bit more. And BC now starting to really disrupt passing lanes on defense. And you know what? As I had the conversation with Greg McCall the other day, it takes him a second. And sometimes you don't have that, but BC doing a great job so far of disrupting all the passing lanes. And Allan Hancock having a little more trouble now. Renegades only trailing by 1. Davis comes away with the rebound. Driving all the way, trying to go coast to coast and makes the shot. Rolls that one in the glass, and the Renegades have the first lead of the game, and that's going to disappear.
Oh.
And a penalty is going to get called. I'm pretty sure they're going to call a technical on that, hanging on the rim and trying to grab the ball. And that's going to be a technical foul.
And that looked like frustration.
Or maybe not a technical. I don't know what you call that. I thought if you hang on the rim and try to grab the ball that it's a technical foul.
Yeah, at any rate, that was a frustration shot by
Well, and Noah Morris was all the way down and could have put that in. I mean,
right.
And Noah Morris is 6'9". I mean, that's not a tough shot for him to make, but boy, I think he was trying to go too much power and just lost the handle on the ball. BC trying to get the ball over the line. Just does. Tyler just flirting out there with that half-court line. And Sir Roberts doing a good job on defense in that full-court press. Shot clock down to 6. Henderson goes down on the floor, and it's just stripped away and out of bounds. And the ball is going to go in favor of the Bulldogs. And once again, Renegades leading 22-21 and trailed by as many as 7 in this first half. So BC just kind of hanging in, but their defense has really tightened up on this Bulldog offense. And a foul is going to get called on that pick on number 4, Sir Roberts. And I don't know if he stepped out or stuck a leg out or an elbow, but you could see there was clearly some sort of a pick. But, boy, it was a good pick, but
it was a good one.
Apparently it was an illegal one. And the Bulldogs really working out on the perimeter of the Renegades. And that one's going to be kind of stripped away from Miller. And Mekhi Grant just doing a heck of a job on defense. Tyler out on the perimeter. He can shoot it. So can Damari Davis. Shot clock down to 4. Henderson trying to go inside. Gets the rebound after Tyler put it off the glass and scores. Zykeir Henderson doing a great job down low. And ill-advised shots from the Bulldogs in the last couple of possessions have not helped them at all. And Davis trying to go once again all the way down, and he's going to draw the foul, but they're going to call it down on the court, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be 1-1 as the Renegades are now going into the bonus.
You know, in Zykeir Henderson, we have to admire his work down low. If you don't notice, when he goes back up with a shot, he goes up with 2 hands, full control.
And I stand next to Zykeir, and they have him listed as 6'5", and I'm 6 foot.
Yes.
I don't know if he's 6'5", but he plays like he's 6'9".
He plays like he's 6'10".
And the one thing about Zykeir is that he can elevate. He's always had a really good ability to elevate. Even when he was a kid in high school, when I watched it, when he was at Frontier High School, and I watched him play. Even back then, he could still get up, and he still can. And once again, I was a little nervous with that taped-up knee tonight. I'm not going to push too much, but I do kind of want to find out what's going on, and hopefully he's all right.
Yes, and this is a tribute to the Renegades because that press stifled them in the beginning of the game, and they're right now in the lead.
Yeah, Davis hits them both. And now Damari Davis with 7 points in the game for the Renegades. And a charge is going to get called, and Davis does it on the other end. And Trenton Lavender having a little bit of an argument. Didn't think that he had his feet set. He's still arguing with the official about it.
He sure is.
Renegades now leading 26-21. 3:54 left to go in the first half. Renegades get the ball up the court easily. May be able to figure out how to manage it now. And outside to Chavez, and he uses the glass from the corner and gets that one to go. And somebody's going to have H.
That's right.
Oh, a nice finger roll in by Trenton Lavender. Henderson doubled up. All the way up the court to Davis. He had Markel Brooks over in the corner and missed him. And Wade driving. And that's going to be a charge called against, James Miller is going to draw the foul. On the charge, Renegades in the lead, and James Miller is going to check, or Elijah Wade is now going to check back in. Elijah Wade and James Miller swap in and out for each other, or they both play guard. And the same style of play from both of them. Renegades leading 29-23. with just over 3 minutes to go in this first half. And Wade diving for the ball, gives it up to Davis, and Davis gets his pocket picked. And I don't know who Markel Brooks was throwing that to. I think he thought Henderson was going to keep going down the lane, but Henderson stopped just at the free throw line.
Free throw line, yes.
They're probably looking to get a running start so he could jam the ball.
That's right. A flying start.
Noah Morris now checking back into the game for the Bulldogs. And Dede Williams sits down. And again, I mean, I said there's a lot of length on this squad. 6'9", 6'7", 6'5", 6'11", 6'4", 6'5". These guys have tons of length. And Davis had the opportunity, did not choose it, but from way outside, that one's going to be off the rim. And Gustavo Chavez not able to figure that one out yet, but give him a second. He had 5 3-pointers in the game last week. Way outside, and he hits it. Adam Silman. That pulls the Bulldogs to within 3. Chavez thinking about it and pulls back and hits that one and off the front of the rim. And there was nobody there to help out on the baseline as Trenton Lavender ended up turning that one over. Davis now driving, throws his shoulder down, gets that one to bounce, gets the good roll. And T.J. Hollinger, I thought, had him in a push-off there. I think he got away with one. Renegades now stifling defense, finally picking that one up. Oh, and there's a throw in the shoulder. Surprised he didn't get called on the foul on that one. Hollinger trying to get the same call.
Yeah, everybody saw that.
Exactly. But again, a no call on that one. And Hollinger's going to come away almost with the steal. But Henderson managed to hang on to it, and the travel there, no travel. They're going to get called for the blocking foul.
Wow.
And I thought when Zakir took that extra step, I thought he was going to get called for the travel. And then I thought he got called for the charge. Ends up being a blocking foul, so I was wrong all the way down to Sunday.
Well, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. Oh, wow.
Zakir Henderson with a chance to extend the lead for the Renegades to 33. It would be a 7-point lead. He has 8 points in the game right now. Damari Davis has 9. And Davis is actually perfect from the free throw line, the 3-point field goal, and the regular field goals. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the Renegades made some quick adjustments in this first half. They have actually taken control, and that's why they have the lead they have now.
Well, fans, be sure to stick around. At the end of this first half, I'll be down getting an interview from Coach Greg McCall, get his thoughts on what happened here in the first half and see what they have planned for the second half for this incredibly good Hancock Bulldog basketball squad. 1 minute to go in this first half. Renegades lead by 6, 32-26. A nice dish back outside, and he's going to drain it, Mekhi Grant. And again, the Renegades twice now have left somebody out on the perimeter all alone because they're getting pulled down into the key. Henderson gives it up to Davis. Davis with the fall away. Jumps up, lands out of bounds, but dished the 3 before he came down. What an incredible play.
He didn't even think about it. He turned and he fired.
"15 seconds on the clock. 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And a nice basket by Noah Morris. And that's going to do it for the first half. The score of the Bakersfield College Renegades 35. And they're going to put some time back on this clock. It's 35-31 with 0.5 left on the clock. And the Renegades will get a chance to inbound it. With 0.5, you barely have enough time to touch the ball, much less shoot it. So we'll find out now. Tyler doing the inbound. And I don't know, that's not going to be enough time. And that's the end of the first half. Bakersfield College Renegades 35 and the Hancock Bulldogs 31. So we're going to take it on down to the court, and I'm standing here with Coach Greg McCall. And, Coach, boy, I'll tell you what, that one started off a little shaky to begin with. You guys were down by a maximum of 7 points in that first half and managed to come back, and you got a 4-point lead now.
Yeah, we just got to do a better job. We came out a little bit timid, playing a little soft. And then once we've seen that we can hang with these guys, because they, just watching them on video, we've seen their physical team. But once we've seen that we can play with physicality as well, too, we came back a little bit stronger.
You guys managed their full court press a little bit better as the game carried on. I don't know if they're getting a little tired out or what, but they really had the full court press on you guys in the first half. How did you manage to find your way out of that?
Yeah, we just had to take care of the basketball and run our press break how we supposed to. And once I made one adjustment on it, and told our guys to look what to look for out of that press break, we did a good job on that.
Over the last couple of weeks, Zakir Henderson has really been the difference in your squad, really kind of taken over and been the leading scorer in the last 4 games. I think the last 5 games, actually. But tonight he came out a little bit slow. He does have his knee bandaged up. Everything going okay for him?
Yeah, everything is good. I think he just, right now, just, it's a big game. And, he's just kind of waiting for his moment to happen. As you can tell, he's starting to slowly but surely get into it. Damari Davis is the one that's been carrying us, so that's been really good. And that's a great job by our bench. That's what we want.
Davis, up until that last shot, has been shooting 100% in the first half. 2 3-pointers and 3 field goals and perfect from the free throw line. Really having a good game. What do you say about him?
Yeah, he's been doing a really good job for us. He's been proving himself every day in practice. So, and now his work is paying off for him. So,
have a great second half.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Renegade basketball after this. shot clock right now.
I mean, slow it down, but I want to see us go to 100, Tom.
Well, it'd be nice to see 100 points up on that scoreboard.
For the first
I don't know
time
if I've seen that. Yeah.
In this building. Boom!
And way outside, and that's going to do it.
100, Tom! 100.
Tyler. And 3 digits up on the scoreboard for the Renegades now. That one off the mark, over to Chavez.
102 or 103. Come on, come on.
Tyler once again.
102 or 3.
Tyron Tyler drains 2 in a row.
Wow.
And now Tyron Tyler, the third leading scorer on the squad tonight with 12 points as a result of that three-pointer. And as we talked about it, the Renegades just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And Tyler once again on the outside decides to drive the lane, kicks it back out. And Elijah Wade now giving it a shot. And
Wade,
gets it to go.
3.
Now the Renegades just putting their foot down on the gas pedal with a 29-point lead and a minute and a half to go here. clock right now.
I mean, slow it down, Mo. I want to see us go to 100, Tom.
Well, it'd be nice to see 100 points up on that scoreboard.
For the first
I don't know
time
if I've seen that. Yeah.
In this building. Boom!
And way outside, and that's going to do it.
100, Tom!
Tyron
100.
Tyler. And 3 digits up on the scoreboard for the Renegades now. That one off the mark, over to Chavez.
102 or 103. Come on, come on.
Tyler once again.
102 or 3.
Tyron Tyler drains 2 in a row.
Wow.
And now Tyron Tyler, the third leading scorer on the squad tonight with 12 points as a result of that three-pointer.
Babe.
And as we talked about it, the Renegades just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And Tyler once again on the outside decides to drive the lane, kicks it back out. And Elijah Wade now giving it a shot. And
Wade,
gets it to go.
3.
And now the Renegades just putting their foot down on the gas pedal with a 29-point lead and a minute and a half to go here. Welcome back to Bakersfield College. From the Renegade Athletic Complex, once again, Tom Myers, the Dr. Julian Wilson, on camera duties tonight. Gio General and John Hare. John catching the action down on the court, so great job to both of them. BC ahead 35-31 in a kind of back and forth first half. I'll tell you what, they were down by as much as 7, but lead by 4 now going into this second half. And so far, the Renegades a little bit of foul trouble in the beginning. They kind of staved it off a little while, but ended up putting themselves, ended up putting the Bulldogs in the bonus, and the Bulldogs put them in the bonus.
Right.
So I think the total was around 14 fouls in the first half.
Right.
Nobody really in any foul trouble right now. Gawo Famuso and James Miller for the Renegades both have 2. And then for the Bulldogs, only 1 player, and that would be Trenton Lavender. He's got 2. Although a lot of other players have 1 on that Bulldog squad. So we'll see how BC handles this second half. And, nice conversation that I had with Greg McCall at the end of that first half. And,
right.
He pretty much told us everything that we already knew.
Yes.
And it's kind of nice when you ask questions you know the answers to already.
Exactly.
But he said they came out soft and got started a little bit, I don't want to say apprehensive, but call it what you will. But boy, did they tighten up that defense towards the end of that first half.
Did. And we're lucky we get to spend the time with McCall that we get to spend with him.
Yeah, big thanks to Coach for the interview at the end of the first half. BC in white to our left. The Bulldogs in blue on the right. And a turnover right there. And Makai Grant drives all the way in, and a foul is going to get called on Damari Davis, and the basket will count, and a chance for a three-point play. So a little confusion down at the score table, trying to figure out what they're getting straight. So that is going to be on Davis. And Makai Grant, good finish down at the end. A chance to make it a three-point play now, and he does, and they pulled it within 1, 35-34 at the beginning of this second half. BC did a much better job of dissipating the full-court press of the Bulldogs in the towards the end of that first half. Famuso from way outside, that's not really his shot. Davis gets the rebound trying to go up. And then a nice shot by Markel Brooks. And Markel has not been as aggressive down there on the offensive boards as I'm sure McCall would like to see him. You know, those simple shots where nobody there, left all alone. Noah Morris, and a breakdown of the defense for the Renegades. Nobody covered Morris. You know, Noah Morris is already 6'9". He doesn't need any help. Davis driving, dishes back out. That one's a little off the mark. Renegades trying to trap down there. And once again, the cherry picking of the Bulldogs continues. They can't get that one to go. Good defense by the Renegades. That one's saved, but it's saved to the wrong guy. Oh, no. And Zykir Henderson's going to get called for the foul at a three-point play for Noah Morris. So Henderson's now going to have his second foul. Gawo Famuso is going to sit down. And Zach Garnett coming in his place. And a second three-point play for the Bulldogs. And now they lead 39-37. BC working the perimeter. And an ill-advised pass and a foul away from the ball, and the Renegades are going to have it. And that looks like it's going to go against Arlen Kinjui. So Kinjui's first personal foul. And the Renegades get a new shot clock at 20. BC trying to inbound it. And almost got the 5 count. Bakersfield College with 15 turnovers tonight. And Damari Davis once again from the outside. And that is going to be Davis's third three-pointer. And Damari Davis, the leading scorer on the Renegades with 15 points. And Davis is going to get called on that foul. And he thought it was clean, but it wasn't. And now that's going to be Damari Davis's third foul. And Morris kind of changed his whole game here, Julian, in the second half. Really kind of going at the basket now.
Yeah, you can
playing
see
far more aggressive.
Yeah, you can see the change in the strategy. You can clearly see it.
Game tied at 40, 17-41. Bulldogs now lead by 1. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Renegades were having a lot of trouble in the beginning of the game managing the shot clock. And now it's down to 5 as Henderson shoots from the key. Not great shot selection in that last possession. And again, left all alone and puts the jam. Noah Morris. And BC does not have an answer for Noah Morris, who now has 17 points in the game. Henderson from way outside and gets that one to go. And the game tied back up at 43. 3.5 minutes gone in this second half. And BC has to have an answer. Oh, and way outside. Arlen Kinjui. And the strange part about that is that's only the third three-pointer of the game. But BC and Damari Davis matching point for point. And now Davis has 21 points in the game. And he is perfect from the field. Renegades rebounding together, Markel Brooks and Zach Garnett. Davis doubled up, gives it across the court to Garnett, who gives it to Markel Brooks. High off the glass and scores. A great give and go. (48-46) Renegades lead 15-19. Oh, and almost a good bounce there for the Bulldogs. And again outside, Arlen Kanjui, and somebody has got to get on him. And Greg McCall not happy with Zach Garnett right now. You can tell. Boy, I'll tell you what, giving up a couple of three-pointers. And Kanjui now, 12 points in the game, 2 for 4 from the three-point stripe. And I'll tell you what, it's been in the last couple of possessions.
Exactly. You know, it makes you wonder what both of these teams talked about or discussed at halftime, because they're both playing a completely different game. They're probably shot as many three-pointers just now that they've done all game.
Absolutely. And right now, from the three-point line, Hancock 4 for 14. The Renegades 50%, 7 for 14 from the three-point line for BC. Wow. So that's really keeping them in this game.
So both have 14 three-point attempts.
BC shooting 52.8 from the field. Hancock only shooting 41.5, so it's amazing that Hancock's leading right now because BC percentage-wise is shooting better. The issue is that Hancock is just getting more attempts and BC is not.
Right, exactly.
Not to mention, Hancock 11 for 12 from the free throw line. So they're really scoring extra points. BC's only been to the line for 4 shots.
And I think the second half, they have, 4? They already have 4 points at the free throw line.
15:09 to go in this second half, rather. BC trailing by 1, still plenty of time to go. And Bakersfield College really kind of warms up throughout a half, and we've seen that multiple times this season.
Well, I don't think there'll be any game that the Renegades play the rest of this season where they'll be out of the game no matter what the score is.
Absolutely. So Garnett on the baseline inbounding, and that's turned over, and Miller couldn't get a handle on it. TJ Hollinger going up for the ball, and Zach Garnett doing a good job of knocking it away because he had a straight shot at the basket there underneath. And Tyron Tyler checking into the game for Garnett now. And Tyler, a great job on defense and shooting three-pointers. And a nice save by Henderson, and we see that all the time. Oh, and good defense down there. And that was number 10, Mekhi Grant, basically just getting in the way. And he's going to step out of bounds.
Wow.
And a good job by Elijah Wade getting a handle on the ball. Fourteen and a half minutes left to go in this second half. BC trailing by 1. Tyler from outside. That one's going to be off the front of the rim. And again, the Bulldogs crashing inside into the lane and then dishing back outside. And again, the Bulldogs have not been shooting incredibly well from beyond the three-point line. And a turnover there. And the Renegade turnover problems continue with 17 now. Allan Hancock's turned the ball over 12 times. And an odd statistic, they had only turned the ball over 11 times at the beginning of the first half, or no times at the beginning of the first half, and the Renegades had turned it over 11. So they're starting to catch up a little bit with BC, and that has to do with Bakersfield College's stifling defense that started to take place at the end of that first half. 51-48 now. Noah Morris is going to take a rest now for the Bulldogs. And we haven't seen that full court press out of the Bulldogs. Tyler gives it down inside to Markel Brooks. And a good job by Tyler finding Brooks down low, and Brooks really needs to make his position known down there in the post. Nice easy in off the rebound there for the Bulldogs. And now it's 53-50. Davis throws that one up, draws the foul. Falls down dramatically. I'll have to talk to Damari about that one later on. That was a little bit much. But he will go to the line now. And that foul gets called on Trenton Lavender, and that's Lavender's third foul. 12:54 left to go in this second half. 53-50. And Damari Davis misses his first. And in the game last week, on Tuesday, he was perfect from the stripe, 11 for 11 from the free throw line.
Well, he has a really nice soft touch.
He absolutely does. So that's a rare miss for Damari Davis. And Davis makes the second one as expected. Henderson not giving any help down there getting the ball in. Now BC's going to start taking a little bit of time, keeping the Bulldogs from going over half court. Wade diving for the ball. That's going to be out of bounds. Still the possession of the Bulldogs, but 19 seconds on the shot clock, so they managed to get 11 seconds off. A little bit harder for the offense to score with a limited amount of time on that clock. Nice strip there by the Renegades. Here comes Davis, and he's going to get his pocket picked clean. That one's going to go out of bounds, and Davis comes up limping. Damari reaching back on his back of his thigh. Tyron Tyler was all the way down on the baseline shouting. Brooks guarded by Adam Silman, tries to drive down, loses a handle on the ball, and that's going to go out of bounds. Possession to the Bulldogs. But Markel Brooks really needs to do that. Brooks with 8 points so far tonight. Far better than his game total the other night on Tuesday. And we've seen Markel Brooks as a leading scorer in a number of games last year and this year. And he really needs to kind of get back into the mix. And once again, all alone down low. Adam Silman, I don't know how they let him go, but somebody lost track. And a good job by Silman finding just an empty area where nobody else was. And that turnover by Henderson now. 11:42 left to go in the second half. Renegades trail by 4. Henderson out on the perimeter guarding, but it doesn't do any good. Arlen Kinjui rains the 3, and now a timeout is going to get called as the Bulldogs are back to a 7-point lead again that the Renegades haven't seen since the beginning of the first half. You're watching Renegade Basketball. We'll be back in a minute. Julian Wilson and I were talking at the break there about what it's going to take for the Renegades to get back in this game. And, basically I said aggressive play. They played very aggressively towards the end of that first half, and that really kind of helped them get the momentum swing in their direction, and they haven't had that so far. They're kind of playing, I don't want to say they're playing scared, but they're definitely not playing with that same aggressive nature. And attacking the basket right now like Wade's going to do is exactly what they need to do. Elijah Wade, coast to coast for the score. And right there, once again, BC did a great job of disrupting pass lanes in that first half and towards the end. And once again, that one's a little bit off the mark, and Davis comes up with the rebound and gives it up to Wade. And here comes Wade. Tyler almost lost a handle on it. And a blocking foul is going to get called, and that's going to go against Arlen Kunjui. And that's going to be Kunjui's second personal foul now. Kunjui with 15 points in the game right now. Noah Morris, number 15, with 21 points, the leading scorer. He is not on the court right now. Getting a little bit of a break, but yeah, I said it too soon because here he comes.
There he is.
And now BC's got to deal with him. Morris, a 6'9" sophomore center out of Arroyo Grande. God, I couldn't imagine what it was like to deal with him in high school. Wade driving and doesn't end up getting the travel call.
I tell you what, there is an immense amount of contact on the floor.
And right now, everybody's all over the place. 3 turnovers in the last 5 seconds. Neither team doing a great job of taking care of the ball.
Right.
Good defense by Davis. Damari Davis is only 6'2".
Right.
He's working on 6'9". Noah Morris. That one rattles in and out, but Famuso gets the rebound, and he's going to get blocked. And the call's going to go in favor of the Bulldogs.
Wait.
And they think, and Greg McCall's like, that's our ball. And he's not going to get that call.
He's not going to get it.
BC trailing 58 to 53 with 10 minutes to go. We're halfway through this second half.
Oh.
And Elijah Wade coughs up the ball. And that one, he's just going to stand and watch because there's nothing he can do with Noah Morris coming right down the lane, who gave up the ball, and now a timeout is going to get called. Well, I don't know if it's a timeout. What are they calling? It looks like they're going to try and call a technical foul for hanging on the rim. Technical foul. That is going to get called on the Bulldogs. And Tyson A down there arguing. And Damari Davis looks like he's going to get the shot. Renegades will have a shot plus the ball. And I really didn't see the technical foul. I mean, in this day and age, everybody kind of jams the ball and pulls down the rim. I mean, that's kind of what it is, but that's basically what he's getting charged with. And the foul up on the board actually shows Dacio Gonzalez. So I'm not quite sure who's getting called for the technical foul. And Gonzalez is on the he's on the bench, so I think maybe it had something to do with that. Maybe he came onto the court in celebration. James Miller working on Lavender. Damari Davis almost got picked on that one. Davis trying to get rid of the ball, almost gives it up. Famuso comes up with it. Six seconds left on the shot clock. Henderson driving the lane, throws it up and in, is going to draw the foul and bring the three-point play.
I tell you what, this is an extremely physical game. The refs are doing a great job keeping things at bay, but these guys are not letting up.
Zakir Henderson with a soft touch off the glass and scores, and a chance to make it a three-point play with 9:11 to go in this second half.
And when he put that ball on the floor, he was determined to get to that glass.
Henderson didn't have much of a chance. He only had 6 seconds left on the shot clock, so he kind of had to go. He's going to miss that one, and a foul's going to get called away from the ball. And that's going to go with against Tyron Tyler as he was battling it out with Noah Morris over there on the far side. Both of them went to the floor. And that's going to be Tyler's second foul. So the Renegades still don't have anybody in foul trouble with the exception of Damari Davis, who has 3. Davis still on the court as the leading scorer for the Renegades with 20 points, followed by Zakir Henderson with 14. BC's bench starting to get into it a little bit, trying to hype up the players out on the court. Oh, a nice drive down the lane and a soft touch. Trenton Lavender. Lavender now with 5 points. And Davis once again on the outside drains the three-pointer, and he is now 5 for 5 from beyond the arc. 62 to 59. Henderson comes away with that one, but he's going to get fouled, and he's going to draw the foul. Arlen Kajui is going to get called. And that's going to be the 6th team foul for the Bulldogs. Sir Roberts checking back in now for the Bulldogs. Once again, the Bulldogs are in blue, the Renegades in white. We're coming to you from the Renegade Athletic Complex up at Bakersfield College. 62 to 59, 8:17 to go. Renegades trailing. Almost got the bounce on that. Tyron Tyler was hoping for that. Now it's Tyler and Davis down along the baseline. And Trenton Lavender had no choice but to bounce it off of Damari Davis as he was falling out of bounds. Godwolf-Amuso and a kick ball for Henderson. Now it's going to reset the shot clock, and Henderson's going to come out and have a seat as Markel Brooks checks back into the game for the Renegades. Yeah, Henderson coming out. Noah Morris is also going to come out and have a seat and take a little bit of a break. BC trying to trap. And that one's going to be off of Markel Brooks and out of bounds. Just under 8 minutes to go, 62 to 59, Renegades trailing.
Wow.
Miller, tough defense down there along the baseline. Up. And it's going to get called in favor of the Renegades.
But almost not. I don't know what that single was by the.
By the way, before I forget and we get too far down the road, Joaquin Rios, I had a conversation with him, has not played in the last 2 contests, including tonight.
Right.
And I did have a discussion. He said he had a little bit of a sprained ACL, not quite ready to come back yet, but is planning on making his way back soon.
Good.
So we wish Joaquin a quick and speedy recovery. Love to see him back on the basketball court here. He has been a big part of this program for the last couple of seasons now.
Yes, he has, and that's not an area that we want to tear because that's a tough heel.
That absolutely is. From the outside, James Miller with the 3, and it's tied up now at 62 with just over 7 minutes to go in the game, and the Renegades have the ability to get stronger as the time goes on. So that's what they're looking for. We have seen a couple of tough games here so far this season. And a foul is going to get called, and we're all looking to see where that's going to come from.
Exactly. It looked like
I think a couple of players down there were looking too. They don't even know who had contact. And that's going to go against Tyron Tyler.
Wow.
Third personal foul.
And it's his third personal foul. The last really tough game that the Renegades had here in the Renegade Athletic Complex was Reedley College, and it was that double overtime thriller that we called back on the 8th of November, almost a month ago. BC ended up winning that one into overtimes 93-92.
Hancock substitution, number 15, Noah Morris.
And Noah Morris now checking back in for the Bulldogs. Miller, nice give to Famuso. And Godwill Famuso now has 4 points in the game. And down low. And Famuso up for the block. And the basket will not count, but the foul's going to get called on Godwill Famuso as he went up to get TJ Hollinger, and Hollinger, cupping his eye, got either hit in the face or the nose or the eye, has not gotten back up yet. Finally comes to his feet, and hopefully he's going to walk that off, and he'll have 2 shots. And a great block by Famuso, but ended up finishing with his elbow going into the face of Hollinger.
Shooting 2, TJ Hollinger.
Hollinger makes the first. $65-64, 6:24 to go in the contest. And as I said, Renegades, the last tough at-home game that they had was against Reedley College about 4 weeks ago. So the Bulldogs, as we stated earlier, we're going to give the Renegades everything that they could handle, and they have definitely fulfilled on that promise tonight.
Yes, they have.
Hancock, as I said, a much better team than a 4-on-4 squad. Ten seconds on the shot clock. And a throw up there by Markel Brooks, couldn't get it to fall. It was close. The Bulldogs are going to look here to try to get the best shot selection they can. And that was actually a pretty good one. And after he finished, Trenton Lavender comes back, gets his own rebound, or gets his rebound off the ball. And a steal there by Sir Roberts, who gives it up. And this could be the dagger, way off the mark. Renegades cannot get the offensive rebound. And a timeout is going to get called by the Bulldogs. And we'll be back. 5:18 to go. More to come after this. Renegades trailing by 4, but the tail of the take tonight, points off of turnovers. The Renegades only 12 points off of turnovers. Allan Hancock, 22 points off of turnovers. So that's really made the Renegades pay, and they're down 4 with 5:18 left to go in the second half. BC trying to hold on and get the win and improve. They are 6-3 on the season so far. Would love to get to 7-3.
7-3.
And of course, the Bakersfield College women's program won tonight, 60-54 down in Pasadena. over Pasadena City College, and it was a tight game the whole way. They were behind for part of it, back and forth, ended up holding on to win, and they improved to 8-1 on the season. Had 8 wins all last season. Yes. So Grant Bingham doing a fantastic job for the Bakersfield College women's program, and really got some great players to come in and buy into his program.
Yeah, there's not enough we can say about the amazing start that the women are having this year.
Yeah, Bingham in is only his second year doing a fantastic job, really uplifting this program. BC has not had more than 8 wins over the last 4 seasons. And a travel is going to get called on TJ Hollinger. He was guarded over on the near side by number 11, Zakir Henderson. Henderson disrupted just enough to cause that travel. 5 minutes to go in the game. Miller gave the ball up to Henderson. Henderson just dribbling around out there. Davis now almost gets the ball stolen, manages to come up with it anyway. 7 seconds, and he hit the line, and he's going to be out of bounds, and a turnover once again by the Renegades. BC now with 24 turnovers in the game, 16 turnovers for Hancock.
You know, and that turnover wasn't so bad that they had the turnover, but a lot of time was used on the clock.
BC comes away with nothing. Davis with 3 fouls, needs to be careful. And a great lay-in in traffic by number 10, Makai Grant.
Oh, and we got.
And Davis has come up lame, and they're going to have to call a timeout. And you know what? I think he's pulled his hamstring because he went out earlier with the same kind of injury. And there's something going on down at the other end here, and it involves Zakir Henderson. And Davis is going to have to come out. And that looks like a hamstring injury. He was kind of favoring that about 5-10 minutes ago.
Right, the first time he went down, he was.
So now a little discussion is going on. He's going to go over and get stretched, and he's either cramping and he's pulling back on his toe. So that might be a cramp instead of a hamstring pull, which we really hope so. But the officiating crew now having a discussion over here to the left side, and we're going to see what they come away with. And they're coming away with nothing, it looks like. That's an awful long conference to not issue a foul or a technical to somebody. And either that or they're having a conference about making sure that this thing doesn't get out of hand.
Yes.
And Greg McCall's like, what are you guys talking about over there? 4:19 left to go in the game. The Renegades trail by 6. So desperately need a score here now to start getting back into this game. They want to hang on with the chance to win. And the defense right now for the Bulldogs, and Zakir Henderson, and he's going to get called for a foul, just shoving everybody out of the way, and that's an easy call. And Greg McCall doesn't want to get a technical, backs off the court, but he's talking to everybody about what he thinks. They're doing the same thing as what he's saying.
You know, and that's a tough foul call, even when your back is turned, if you make a collision.
Absolutely,
that knocks someone over.
But Henderson kind of driving them all the way out. And,
right.
And I think McCall's just asked him to call it both ways. I haven't seen that kind of a play by the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs right now with a 6-point lead, and right now at this stage of the game, and that's going to be a blocking foul against the Renegades.
Wow. And
TJ Hollinger just lowered his shoulder. And drove right into, and I'm trying to see who's down right now. And he's cramped up now. And that was Elijah Wade, but Elijah Wade took it right in the chest, and he's going to be the one that gets called for the foul. And Greg McCall having an argument with the official. And I think a lot of people saw that. And I don't know if you can drive your shoulder into a defensive player, whether he has position or not. He was inside the crease too, I think, so that's probably why they didn't call it, and they ended up calling it a blocking foul. But 1-1, they called it on the floor. Hollinger misses, and the Renegades come up with it. Henderson clearing everybody out from the three-point line. Gets that one to go. And Zykir Henderson brings it to within 3.5 to go. And that's the shot in the arm the Renegades really needed. A little momentum goes a long way in the Renegade Athletic Complex.
Well, that last call on him on that foul did not sit well with him at all.
And I'm unclear. The foul's going to get called on James Miller, but James Miller should not be guarding
right.
Noah Morris down low. I don't know where the mix-up on that possession was, but boy, I'll tell you what, he's fighting for his life down there. And that's a one-on-one situation because they are in the bonus. The Renegades with 9 team fouls right now. And the next one sends the Bulldogs into the double bonus, so not anything the Renegades want to see. And he gets them both. Adam Silman back in the game now for the Bulldogs. 3:14 left on the game clock for BC. 72-67. Renegades cut into the lead. And right now the Bulldogs just trying to prevent a three-pointer. And a nice fadeaway, turnaround fadeaway by James Miller. And the Bulldog lead back to 3 now. Renegades trying to get a stop. And the clock is ticking right now. And a foul is going to get called, and that's going to go against Elijah Wade. And that'll be Elijah Wade's second personal foul, but that puts Allan Hancock now into the double bonus. They will shoot 2 for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, and that's a tough call, but it almost may not be a bad call because it at least stops the clock.
So Lavender now at the stripe. Lavender with 8 points now in the game.
Timeout, Renegades.
And BC's going to call a timeout. We'll be back with the remainder of this one after this. Coming back out of the timeout, the Renegades trailing Allan Hancock 73-69. 2:43 left to go in the game. Trenton Lavender at the line will shoot his second of 2. He hit the first one with a chance to put the lead back to 5. Bakersfield College putting the Bulldogs into the double bonus. One more foul for the Bulldogs will give the Renegades, put them into the 1-and-1 bonus. Damari Davis now checking back into the game for Elijah Wade, who will sit down. Davis, 5 for 5 from the three-point line tonight, has 23 points. Miller drives down low, gets the ball knocked away, and the Bulldogs come up with it. 2.5 to go. And the Bulldogs going to slow it way down now. And the Renegades should be applying pressure right now.
Yes.
Don't let him just sit out there. And Markel Brooks really shouldn't be the guy out there. And a knockaway, and that's going to be off the hands of Mekhi Grant. And a lucky turnover for the Renegades there.
This would be a critical possession. They need to get the ball up the floor.
Henderson's trying to stretch the court now. They want to definitely free up Davis out on the perimeter. As I said, he's been perfect from three-point land. Henderson comes away. Oh, and he came away with it, but he's going to draw the foul, and that's going to get called on Noah Morris. And that's going to be Noah Morris's second personal foul, but the Renegades now in the bonus. So Zakir Henderson is going to get to go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. And this is something you like to see, Julian. Scoring while the clock is not running when you're down by 5. So the Renegades and Henderson with a chance now to pull within 3. And he misses the first one and won't get a second chance. 1:45 to go now. Henderson out on Grant. Lamender almost lost the ball on that one. Gives it outside, and that might be the nail. Arlen Konjui. And Allan Hancock's going to call a timeout, and now they go up by 8, their biggest lead of the game, with 1:20 to go in the game. And that's something that you didn't want to see for Bakersfield College.
I don't think a number of us wanted to see that. You didn't want to see it. But, man, I mean, give it up for Allan Hancock. Very, very astute staying in this game against this rugged Renegade defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was really a pretty good defensive stand up until then, and even then it was a good defensive stand.
Exactly.
Konjui with a great shot from down in the corner on that fadeaway. And Konjui now with 20 points, the second leading scorer. Of course, number 15, Noah Morris, 25 points in the game. That's no surprise.
Right.
And a couple of easy ones coming right down the lane when he just got fed. So really kind of incredible. And right now, checking back into the game for the Renegades will be number 2, Gustavo Chavez. So Renegades are going to be firing from three-point land from this point forward. And if they're smart, they'll leave Damari Davis and Chavez both in the game.
Exactly.
Then you got a chance for 2 guys who can both hit it. And Chavez has not hit one yet. So Gustavo Chavez has been I digress. I missed. He has scored 1. He's 1 of 3.
1 of 3.
But again, Damari Davis 5 for 5 from downtown tonight.
Yeah, and
that's just incredible. In fact, he hasn't even missed a shot. He missed 1 free throw, and that's it.
And it looks like maybe he was just suffering from a cramp because he's back on the floor. So
7 field goals, 4-7, 5 3-pointers, and he's 4 of 5 from the stripe. So BC needs to speed it up a little bit. Miller a little slow coming up the court. You know, you guys are running out of time. Just over a minute to go. And Davis trying to get free, and he gets the ball picked clean. And that one's put down by TJ Hollinger. And a technical is going to get called on Hollinger now. And boy, I'll tell you what, it seems like every time that the Bulldogs get a dunk for some reason, they get a technical that follows it. And now Davis, frustrated, is going to go to the line. Hopefully he can settle down because the lead is now 10, and they've got 1 minute to go. And this one really got away from the Renegades in the last 3 minutes.
Got away, exactly.
You know, when you have a chance and he misses, and you can tell that's a frustration miss right there for a guy who shoots over 90%.
Yeah.
Missed 2 of them so far. He is 2 for 6 so far. 4 for 6 in the game so far. And he's going to hit the second. So now 5 for 7 tonight from the free throw line for Damari Davis. And Elijah Wade checking back in, and Gustavo Chavez is going to sit down. Renegades will inbound from the far end. And now Hancock putting the press back on. They're not going to make it easy on BC to bring the ball up the court. Davis all alone on the – and once again, another steal and turnover. The 27th turnover by the Renegades. And BC is not going to foul. They have basically thrown in the towel on this one now, but they're going to continue to fight as Henderson's going to be out on the perimeter, and he's going to – the personal foul, and that's going to go in favor of Mansour Sané. So Sané now will go to the line shooting 2.
And source today, shooting 1 and 1.
39 seconds left on the clock. Bulldogs leading 79 to 70. BC shooting 52% tonight, 52.9. The Bulldogs shooting 45. The difference in this game, 19 of 21 from the free throw line, and now it's 20 of 22, compared to the Renegades, who have only been to the line 5 times. Renegades 6 of 11. And a foul, that's going to go, it looks like, on Mansour Sané. And that will be Sané's 3rd personal foul now.
Second personal foul.
So once again, I'm not really sure what the thought process is there. You really want to not let them score points with the clock stopped. And Godwill Famuso checking back in now for the Renegades as Henderson is at the line. BC still not in the double bonus. They're shooting 1 and 1, so Henderson critically needs to make this first shot. Of course, BC is down by 10 with 31.9 seconds left on the clock. Henderson makes the first. And now this is one of those moments. Do you clank it off the rim and try to get the rebound? Or do you, I mean, I think when you don't really have much of a choice, you kind of just, you score anyway.
You like the idea. You like the idea, but yeah.
And BC's going to call a timeout and talk it over. And, you know, Greg McCall is not going to throw in the towel on this one yet.
No.
Renegades trailing by 8 with 31.9 seconds left on the clock. And, hey, I'll tell you what, it's been a good night having you back here, man.
Oh, it's been a good night to be here. I tell you what, and I did miss you last time.
Yeah, the doctor, Julian Wilson, and I were last night over at Centennial High School here in Bakersfield.
Yes.
And we were working the Kern County 2025 All-Star Volleyball game.
Yeah.
Got to see a bunch of great young ladies, some of which I know, which was a fantastic night getting to call that. And so really looking forward to that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, men's upcoming basketball here at Bakersfield College versus Ventura College on December 11th. That's next week at 5 p.m. Then they take on Oxnard on December 20th at 3 p.m. And then the women's game, that's going to be on December 19th against Taft at 1 p.m. So be sure to tune in here, and Famuso is going to get called on the foul on that one as Trenton Lavender goes hard to the wood. It looked like he's cramping up a little bit as they're trying to pull his toe back. And now that's Godwill Famuso's 4th personal foul. That may not matter much around now. But Lavender back up on his feet. Over to shoot 2. And Lavender is usually the leading scorer on this team. He's averaging more points than everybody else. He has 10 so far tonight. Leading scorer was Noah Morris with 25 points. And Arlen Conjui had 20. Makai Grant had 12. For the Renegades, Damari Davis was the leading scorer with 24 points, and Zakir Henderson with 19. Markel Brooks with 8, Tyron Tyler with 5, James Miller with 5, and Elijah Wade with 4, along with Godwill Famuso had 4. And Gustavo Chavez hit 1 3-pointer and finishes the night with 3. Davis trying to drive down along the baseline. And the ball's going to come away, and that's going to be a foul. And that looks like it's going to go against Adam Silman. So that'll be Silman's 2nd foul. And that'll send Damari Davis to the line to shoot 2. As the Renegades now finally in the double bonus. But only 14 seconds left on the clock.
Right, and I don't understand at this late stage of the game why Hancock would foul. I mean, there's no need, there's no benefit for them to foul.
Absolutely. They have this one pretty much in the bag, leading 82 to 72. And Davis, once again, a little frustration, I think.
Well, he's played hard tonight. Like I said, his stats show. He has given all he could give this particular game.
Yeah, and the odd part about that one is that Damari Davis has been to the line 8 times tonight. They've only shot 14 free throws, so he's been on the team the majority Davis is going to push that one up and get fouled, and that looks like it's going to be on Sir Roberts. Davis is going to get 2. 3 ticks off the clock. Yeah, it is going to be against Sir Roberts. That'll be his second personal.
And again, I got to ask, I mean, Hancock, why foul?
Absolutely. And now, Davis missed the last 2. And he was perfect the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is his 10th attempt from the stripe tonight. And he drains the first. Lead is 9.
Davis, good for 2.
11 seconds left on the clock. BC not going to foul. McCall
foul,
calls off Elijah Wade. And that's pretty much going to do it. Final score for tonight's game. The Allan Hancock Bulldogs 82, the Bakersfield College Renegades 74. And really, Julian, not much of a contest like we thought it was going to be. It was really tight until about the last 3 minutes of the game, and BC usually gets stronger as the game goes on. That didn't happen tonight.
That didn't happen tonight. And this contest from beginning to now, it's been a fight for both teams. They both went at it. But like I said, it's just that it was a matter of which team was going to pull away at the end.
Leading scorers for Allan Hancock tonight, Noah Morris with 25 points and Arlen Conjui had 20. For the Renegades, Damari Davis, a season-high 26 points, and Zakir Henderson with 19. Henderson, a double-double tonight, 19 points and 10 rebounds. So good for Zakir, his second double-double in the last 3 games. So really looking forward to, we're going to be picking up the same thing on next Thursday, one week from today. The Renegades will be taking on Ventura College. Game time is 5 p.m. Then on the 20th, they'll take on Oxnard right here at 3 p.m. Then before that game, it'll be the women's program. The ladies starting out 8-1 so far on this season, who beat Pasadena City College today in a really tight one. Ended up winning that one 60-54, and they take on Taft College on December 19th. Game time will be 1 p.m. Julian, your final thoughts about tonight's game?
Well, my final thought, and thank you for asking that. I tell you what, the Renegades, they left it all on the floor tonight. Not one of these young men need to hang their head on this game. Again, this game could have went either way. It was just a matter of who pulled away at the end, and Hancock got the draw.
Once again, on behalf of our cameramen, Gio General Al and John Hare, and the Dr. Julian Wilson, this has been Tom Myers. We'll catch you next time, everybody. Game time next week. Ventura College, December 11th at 5 p.m. Bakersfield College coming to you from the Renegade Athletic Complex. We'll see you then, everybody.